Hey, how's it going?
How's it going?
Welcome back
to Keeping Fish.
Welcome. I'm going to give you the story of keeping fish simple. So this here is my first stand. It's got two 2-foot aquariums. We are finally in my new fish room. We're making progress, we're nearly there.
This is what the fish room's looking like now.
Those were the busiest days of my life.
It's not a walk in the park, and it is quite an intense day, and you want to get everything out.
Today we're starting on the new fish room build.
It just became very confusing, so we decided to sell the shop. This is going to be our brand new storefront. This is just the start, really the evolution of KFS. How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Today is going to be a pretty long video, and this is one that I've wanted to do for quite a long time. Today I'm going to be showing you, I think, everything that I own aquarium-wise, or close to it. I'm going to give you the full tour and kind of like the story of keeping fish simple from the room that we're currently in. I'm going to be quickly showing you guys my fish breeding hobby room at home. Then we're going to go to my store, which is my current store. I'm going to be giving you the whole backstory of how I built that store, why I built it, what I built it for, and how it evolved. And then we're going to be going to my brand new warehouse that I only just recently got into, where we're currently building our brand new store and online fulfillment facility. So it's going to be a really fun day. It's going to be a very long video. So grab a cup of coffee, tune in, put this on in the background if you want. This is going to be an amazing video. I'm going to give you guys my all and try and explain the entire story, because I think it's really fascinating to see where we've come from and what I've built, and I can't wait to show you guys where we're going as well. So yeah, let's start by having a look in this room. This is my fish breeding room. Sam's a little bit worked up. He thinks that we're going to be going to the store very soon, and that's true, but you're going to have to wait a little bit longer for me, Sam, for us to finish up showing everyone in here. So this is underneath my house. This is the spare bedroom, and instead of renting it out to a student, I decided, well, let's put 40 fish tanks in here, and this is what it looks like. So this is looking a little bit run down at the moment. I've had the lights on for a little bit too long lately, and I've been doing some pretty heavy feeding. So there's a lot of algae, and yeah, I've been spending most of my time working on the brand new store. So I haven't really had much time to spend in here, but it's holding up all right. Luckily, I have an automatic water change system, which is in this room, and that helps me to be able to easily change the water on these tanks. So they might look a little bit nasty, like look at this 6-footer. I can't wait to set this up, but I don't want to rush it. So it's just been sitting empty, but look how dirty it is. Some of these tanks are real dirty. Like these ones are all right, they're pretty clean, but you can see the glass here is covered in muck. So we'll clean that off at some point when I get time to actually spend a whole day in here. But like, look at this goldfish tank. This is just green as green can get. But yeah, it's a little bit dirty at the moment, but that's just because I haven't had time to be in here all the time. But yeah, basically, what's the idea of this room? Well, I started off the hobby by getting a 10-gallon tank and breeding some guppies, and I got obsessed.
All right, so you want to breed guppies. Now, in my opinion, guppies are the best tropical fish out there for beginners.
You can put the female in the top compartment, and she'll have a fry. The fry fall through the grill, and then she cannot eat them.
I've had guppies for the past 4 years, and they're one of my favorite fish in the whole entire hobby.
From there, when I was a little boy, I had like 7 fish tanks in my bedroom. When I was a little bit older, I started breeding fish for profit.
Just got our angelfish in this little bag here.
Here's the angelfish, and there's their eggs. So you can see they're all over there, and he's protecting them. And that's pretty much when I started making the YouTube channel. You guys can go back and watch those videos. They're horribly cringe. This is one of my new projects. I'm really, really excited to start doing this. And these guys have absolutely stunning colors and fins. And then down here is, of course, my Blue Star Endler colony. And I used to have cherry shrimp, but I decided to sell them all. I had some tanks in my mum's kitchen, like in the breakfast room area.
Today's video, I'm going to show you guys my new 55-gallon river-themed aquarium.
And these are my koi angelfish.
There are hundreds of these little bristlenose plecos everywhere in my tanks at the moment.
Then we decided to move to our first fish room facility, which was the single car garage fish room. And then here's the floor plan of it's a garage that we're moving to.
We are finally in my new fish room now.
Here is the space. Now this is 16 meters squared of space, and we're going to try and attempt to fit
60 aquariums in here, which is going to be kind of crazy. We have built the stands. They've all been painted. The 2-foot aquariums, so the breeding rack and the, baby rack is all done.
I had this idea to start breeding fish for profit, and I thought I was going to become a millionaire, and I decided that I was going to go and do it.
But what we have here are little salt shakers. Now, all of these salt shakers have different sized holes for what I'm trying to do.
What happened was I went to my granddad with the idea, and my granddad was a fantastic businessman, and he was an amazing man. He came over from Egypt as a 7-year-old Greek boy with his parents and had nothing, literally nothing. They used all their money to scratch together to buy a place in West End, and yeah, fantastic entrepreneur, and he did really well. Unfortunately, I just lost him, which was very sad, but I went to his house one night for dinner and explained my idea to him, and I told him how I was going to get this warehouse with a 50 grand a year lease and breed fish for money, and he told me it wasn't a bad idea, but to start a bit smaller, and I was lucky enough that he let me borrow a single car garage from him on one of his properties for free, and I only had to pay the outgoings. And I started my fish breeding business there. So I had jammed 65 or 70 tanks in that room and bred a ton of fish, and I was supplying them online and shipping them out, and I was sending them, over the country, and I was delivering them to my local fish stores.
That's all the bags. We're trying to get most of these angels out, and then we're going to go and try and get these guys to the fish shops.
That was great. I had so much fun, but those were the busiest days of my life. Like, they were so long and hard. I had to drive to the city every morning and home, and then drove back to the city at night. It was in the middle of the Brisbane city, which was just so random. So I was spending 40 minutes in the car a day minimum. And yeah, it was a tiny place to work, and I had to pack everything myself, I had to feed everything myself. And I really learned the ropes there of how to breed fish, and I learned how hard it was to actually do business.
So now the next morning we're back in the fish room, and you can see just how grubby this place does get after a day of packing, and it is quite an intense day, and you want to get everything out. And a lot of people don't count this into their plans when they think about breeding fish for profit, that they're going to have to, spend a whole day taking fish out.
And from there, we moved to the second facility, which I'm going to show you soon. But once I moved into that first fish room, the garage fish room, I had no tanks at home, and I never had tanks at home until I moved into this house last year. And this is when I set up this room. So we've pretty much finished the whole room up. I kind of have been just craving for a long time having my own sort of home space. This is my favorite fish room I've ever set up. I spend so much time down here. I come down every morning and hang out with my fish and feed them and drink coffee down here. And I come down at night and drink beers down here and show my friends. And this is literally just my little slice of paradise underneath my house. You can see we've been breeding a lot of stuff. I'm kind of gearing down a little bit. We are going away for a month on the 11th of June. We have to go visit my partner's family in Spain, which I'm looking forward to. She's got some older grandparents, which we're going to go and spend some time with. So I'm going to be gone for a month. So we're kind of just winding down, but you can see there's lots of babies, just nothing really new. So you can see got some blue eyes here. We've got our baby goldfish here. I bred all these as well. We'll give them some food. They look hungry. I'm playing around with a bunch of new types of food at the moment. All right, I'm going to be feeding these. These are like these little sticks that I've been trying out lately. Everyone seems to really love them. Oh my God. There we go. But yeah, lots of different fish in here. Basically, the point of this room is I use it as a filming studio, so making videos, but the primary reason I have this room is just for my own enjoyment. I love coming down here and spending time with all of my beautiful fish. It was very frustrating when I was at my old facilities because I'd always want to go and look at my fish, but they never really felt like mine because they were always somewhere else 15 minutes away from me, and it was all just purely for money, like to make money. And yeah, I kind of started to not enjoy that so much. So it's nice that I now get to enjoy them all at home. Look at them jam these sticks in their faces. These are all my betters that I bred, or some of them. There we go. Get that one down the hatch. Nice. What else is interesting in here? There's lots of interesting fish in here. This is kind of like where I keep all my personal collection stuff. Whoa. These are all my Akaras that I grew up from Adrian's fish room. They go nuts for food as well. That's kind of like the vibes of this room. Just have fun, play around with stuff. I'm planning to do some really cool tanks in here. I'm just kind of waiting until I get the time, because I don't want to rush these projects. I really want to enjoy this room as much as possible. So what else is cool that I want to show you? Let's go feed the chameleon whiptails. These are so cool. So I'll drop the food in. Now in the sand here is one of the chameleons. I've got 3 of them, and they normally go nuts the second they hear there's food. But you can see they live in the sand, and then they come out and they just go nuts for that food. These have been growing really fast. Well, this one here in the front has. The other 2 aren't growing as quick, but they're slowly growing. So I've got a theory that maybe this big one here is the oldest. There's also albino cories in here, which breed pretty much all day. You can see their eggs are up on this leaf here. Yeah, these are a sweet little fish though. One of the coolest things I've ever kept in my life. I'm gonna try and breed them at some point, but they're a cool fish in the fish room. We've obviously got the zebra plecos here. Pretty much the flagstone fish of the channel and of the brand. These are a really rare species from the Rio Xingu in the Amazon. And I've been obsessed with them since I found out about them in 2020. Yeah, in 2020 it was. And I got my hands on some. And yeah, me and these fish go way back. These are some babies that I actually bred. And I'm gonna be taking some of these to the new store and setting up a display tank of them. But they've loved this brand new scape I did for them. They're all out and about all the time. I actually get to see them now, but you can see this tank's a little bit on the dirty side. Lots of sediment going around. It wouldn't be a Keeping Fish Simple video if we didn't feed the goldfish. They are always ready for a feast. Aren't you guys, hey? Oh my goodness me. This is my green water culture at this point, but these are all my little goldfish and I am so in love with them. I can't believe I haven't really kept goldfish up until this point. There's panda orandas and there's blackmores, and yeah, they're really fun to keep. I wish the tank was a little bit cleaner, but they don't mind. They do not mind having green water at all. It looks really nasty and dirty, but it's actually fine for the fish. It's just that there's no pothos in here. So you can see I grow like lots of like house plants out of the tops of my tanks. And up here we have none. So literally there's just fish, water, and they just produce a bunch of waste and there's no plants to soak it up, which is why we get that huge bloom of green water and algae. That's pretty much it. I mean, I don't want to spend too long in here because yeah, this is just my fish breeding room. You guys will see plenty of this room for the next couple of years to come. We're not planning on moving and we're not planning on building any more really here. What we'll do now is we'll head to the shop, and I've got someone who's going to be very keen to hop in the car and go with me. So Sam, do you want to go to the shop? Let's go. Yeah? Oh yeah, big stretch. Come on then, let's go. Oh my God. It is such a nice day today. It's a beautiful Brisbane day. A lovely autumn day. Let's go quickly check the bees while we're at it. This isn't going to be a short video, so you guys can quickly have a look. Here's my beehive. Yeah, the bees have been cranking lately. Have a look at the front. Hopefully they don't attack me. I got attacked the other week. Yeah, they're all seem to be doing pretty good. If you come and have a look in here, you can see the honey they're starting to make too. Slowly filling up the frames of the flow hives. So hopefully we have honey very soon. Come on. In you get. Good boy. Alright, on the way. You excited? Sam loves going to the shop. It's like probably one of his favorite things to do with me. So I always go, you ready to go to the shop? And he just jumps straight in the car. But it's only 13 minutes from my house, which is good too. And the other good thing about this shop is I only have to go through one set of traffic lights, and it's such a beautiful drive. So I'll show you guys some of my favorite things from the drive. Wait a second. Oh God. In you go, buddy. Let's go turn the lights on, eh? There we go. Okay, well, we are now in the store, and oh my God, it is looking so good. This is probably genuinely the best I've ever seen the store looking. Every tank is pretty much packed with fish. We've got so many things for sale. This is, yeah, it's looking really, really good. But this is where we moved after the garage. So At the time we were in the garage, I was having quite a bit of success with my breeding at a small scale, and I quickly outgrew the space that I was in, and it was time to upgrade. And I spent a while looking for a place to rent out, and we came across this place here in Yeerongpilly. Welcome everyone to the brand new fish room slash fish shop. The idea when I set this up was just to primarily be a fish breeding room. So we were gonna have as many tanks as possible in here, literally fill it up to the brim with fish and breed as many different types of fish as possible and sell them across Australia. When we came here, I quickly figured out that this area is kind of like a little bit of a hot spot, a little bit of an up and coming area here in Brisbane. There was a plant nursery at the time, there's a cafe right next door, and it's just kind of buzzing here. And I thought, well, if we're gonna be breeding fish, why don't we just open a little shop at the front to sell some of those fish and direct to the consumer. It's currently the 29th of September, 2022, and tomorrow I open my shop. We'll see how the shop goes. I've been insanely nervous about opening a shop and it being successful. I've been very insecure about it, and I feel like I have big shoes to fill because of YouTube, so hopefully I've done that. This is kind of a dream come true for me. Our intention was to only be open on Saturdays and literally just breed fish throughout the week, and that's how we started. So that's how we opened the shop. I was open on Saturdays and Sundays at the start, and yeah, it worked out great. We did, on our first day in this tiny little shop, we did 4 grand, and that was the biggest day I ever had in here for about 2 years. Yeah, it took a while and we started to do that. But what ended up happening over time was it just became so much work. Like running a big fish room like this and primarily breeding fish and keeping over 300 fish tanks long term was not sustainable. It started to become a lot of work, not a lot of enjoyment. It was a lot of work for not a lot of money. Quickly, it just became very confusing which way I wanted to take the business. I was very confused. It was a little bit of like a rough patch, I'd guess, in my life. Like when I say rough patch, like it wasn't that hard, but it was definitely a test to me trying to figure out what I was doing, because I was dipping my fingers in a bunch of different pies. I had my YouTube channel was going gangbusters and we had lots of subscribers coming in. We were kind of in between. We were like running a shop, but we were also breeding fish, and it just kind of didn't make sense what was going on. And towards the end of last year, I decided that it was time for me to part ways with this store completely. I am going to be selling my fish shop. This has been a decision that I've been thinking about for a long time, because things have just become a little bit more tricky nowadays. What we were gonna do was I finished setting up my studio at home, and I'd started up my brand Purefin for all my aquarium products that I want to start creating. The shop was just getting in the way. I had no manager. It was literally just me working here. I was running the YouTube channel, running the online store, running the shop itself, and like, the only thing that I kind of got relief from was that I didn't have to be here all the time because I could staff it. Everything was just kind of falling on me and it became too much. So we decided to sell the shop, engaged with a few parties, a few people came through, and none of it really eventuated. We couldn't find the right person to take it on, and it was almost like the universe was directing us in a different way. I saw it as an opportunity to really seize what we had here and to make the most of it. And then from that point on, after we decided to not sell the shop anymore, after exploring that avenue and not finding someone appropriate to take it on, we decided that we're gonna go full retail. We're gonna give this all we got, and we're gonna renovate the store, we're gonna change it, and whatever way it needs to go, we're gonna make it work. This wall here.
So this is all gone?
This is all gone. And then it's gonna be as well, this middle row is gone. Like once it's all open again, we'll see how we wanna do it. So we completely canceled our entire breeding program for the most part, and I'm gonna show you guys what happened. Then, as we began to do that, we quickly realized that since the space was set up for breeding fish, it was a terrible layout for retail, like literally terrible. There's so many dead spots in this shop, the floor plan's weird, customers can't easily get in and work around, and there's no space for our dry goods section. We were looking down the barrel of how to make this actually work. I've also forgot an important key here. After we didn't sell the shop, I decided to get a manager. So I employed our manager, Mia, and she was working for me for a year at the time. We brought her on to manage the shop and help with the online store, and yeah, it's changed my life. I think before that I was very hands-on. I had a hard time delegating because I wanted control over everything. And once I kind of like let go of that control and started to trust people, really treat it as like something bigger than me, a place where people can come and work in that, it completely changed the business. And ever since, it's been so much more sustainable. Basically, I've got someone here who can manage the shop, and I can still spend all my time on YouTube, making YouTube videos, running online store, sourcing products, all that sort of stuff. So it's changed my life. But the shop's looking fantastic as well. Like the tanks are so clean. You guys have been doing such a good job. Like seriously. And look at all the orders. Where was I before? This is all over the place, you're just gonna have to deal with it. So when we were looking down the barrel of doing all of the renovations, and we even started on them, I kind of realized, well, our lease is coming up in a few months, so we'll be up for renewal. And I, at that time, was looking to buy a investment property, and I kind of just thought, well, why don't I buy something for KFS? Why don't I buy something where we can move into for the long term, and we can do whatever we want to that building because we own it. Like we can install solar, we can install any kind of water change system we want, we can set it up beautifully, and like it's gonna be there forever. And we stumbled across our new facility. We canceled the renovations here, and this is what you're gonna see today. This is the shop running as usual, as good as we can in this spot. At the moment, we're working very, very hard on setting up our brand new store, and we are borrowing a lot of money to do it. It's gonna be very expensive, and it's a big risk, but I'm happy to take it. Anything you guys can do to support us helps so much. Just leaving a like, watching the videos helps us out tremendously. But if you are looking to get something for your aquarium, need fish food, or if you need water conditioner, check out our website. We've got a beautiful website there, great products, great customer service, and we'll definitely help you out with all that stuff. And I'm telling you guys, every single dollar you guys spend at our store, I'm gonna put into our brand new one and make it like the best store that I can. I want somewhere that everyone can come and enjoy the hobby and get everything they want. I want the one-stop aquarium shop to be real. Yeah, I'm pretty much here begging for you guys to be my customer, please. I really want you as my customer. So anyways, I hope that kind of gives you guys some context as to what you're about to see and kind of the story of where we went from, because it's been a little bit confusing, I think, the progression of the channel, especially in the last year, of going from this guy breeding fish in the warehouse to what the he's opening a shop properly, like now he wants to sell it, now he's moving. It's really confusing, so I hope that kind of clears up the air. Essentially, we've got a full-time retail store here. We're gonna be running it from here until we move. Hopefully we can get in by the end of September. That's our goal. Up until then, keep shopping here. All of the money you spend here is going into the new spot, and yeah, please help us out, like please. But enough of me begging, let's have a look. So this here was the original store. So you can see we used to have a door here, and that would close off the breeding area. And we had like this little area to sell meds and food and dry goods. We have a freezer and the checkouts here. And yeah, we had all these tanks. So this was the original store. You can see we've got beautiful fish here. We're quarantining all of our fish. I'm probably gonna go and say that our fish are the best in Brisbane. I've checked out a lot of stores, and there are some good stores. I've seen some really good fish at Paul's aquariums and stuff like that, but I reckon ours are better. You can see, yeah, all of our fish are very happy and healthy and love eating, and we don't turn them over quickly because we have to quarantine them. Yeah, they always take to our little pellets and they do really good. But yeah, our plant section kind of sucks at the moment. We're working on upgrading this. It's a bit sad. We're gonna be getting CO2 and figuring out the whole way of selling our plants. You can see down here, these goldfish are just so beautiful. Funny story, I found a guy who was selling these on the side of the street and bought them all for the shop. And yeah, they've been here and they're great quality. So this was the original store here. Now, what I did was I put these windows in so you could like see into our breeding area. And it was a really cool idea to start with, I think. Like, I think people really enjoyed it, but it did get crammed in this store. Like, it's quite a small shop. What we were doing was just selling our fish here on Saturdays and Sundays. And then, yeah, I was out the back here breeding fish. But since then, we've taken the door out and we've expanded out to back here. So now there's a lot more space. We've got one shelf here of goods, and we sell all this stuff online. This Vitalis food's been excellent. We extended the shop to out here. So there's a whole bunch more tanks. There's these 2 rows of tanks. We did up the lights and everything like that, got it looking a whole lot better. So now you can shop all the way to back here. Now this was originally where I was going to continue to breed fish, but we ended up using this now as our quarantine room. So all of the fish that come into the shop have to sit in here for at least a week, and we make sure that they don't get sick or they don't need any medications, and we feed them up and get them used to our water before we move them on and sell them. We also feed brine shrimp every single day. And you can see here we're hatching out some that are going to be ready for tomorrow, because this is Monday and we've got the shop closed today, which is why I can film in here. But yeah, we've got lots of tanks in here. This is a little bit of a mess back here. We're just kind of getting it ready to start draining the tanks and moving them in the next few months. Yeah, it's looking really, really good. And then you can see here, this is where we knocked out the middle row. Now what we were going to do is there used to be tanks here. We got rid of them and we were going to open the shop right up and have like a big open area. And yeah, we kind of just delayed that and stalled it. And then when we settled on our brand new property, I just canceled the project. So the good thing is we didn't need the tanks that we were going to use anyways. So we got rid of a job that we had to do later. But now we're just using the racks to store extra dry goods. You can see here, boxes full of bug buffet. There's like boxes full of stock everywhere here, Tubifex worms. It's a bit of a mess. There's Vitalis in here, brine shrimp, our liquid gold brine shrimp eggs are in here. You can see there. So it's a complete mess now. There's a few tanks with some big fish in them, but for the most part, we're just waiting until we move to get this all cleared out and cleaned up. I still think the store looks cool though. But yeah, we'll have a quick look at some of the fish that we got in at the moment, because there's some real stellar fish in here. Something I wanted to show everyone was this tank. I'm obsessed with these. I might even take some of these home. These are the blue emperor tetras, and I don't know if it's coming through on camera, but they have this really beautiful sheen, the males especially. So they're like the normal emperor tetras, but they've just got that like blue coming through. They are really, really nice. You can see up here, these are the black emperor tetras, and there's a funny swimming one there. Would give that one out for someone for free, but he's still happy. But yeah, the normal black emperor tetras are in here. These are a really neat one too. I've got these at home and I love their blue eyes. They're in there with the platies as well. What else we got here? Look at this, this tank full of rummy nose. Look how happy and healthy these guys are. I've always loved rummy nose. They're a bit of a staple in the hobby nowadays. It's really hard to find healthy ones. So we've got some really good ones at the moment. So if you guys are looking for some, come on in. They don't last long. We always sell out of rummy nose. So these are kind of neat too. The penguin tetras. I love the way they sit there. You can tell they're definitely top feeders, but you can tell they're not the most popular tetra. We don't turn them over super fast. So there's some bigger ones in here and they're in with the littler ones. So if you want some bigger ones, we've got big ones. And if you want little ones, we've got little ones. And it looks like these gold flame tetras are spawning on the Java moss as well. They've been flaring up like they're about to breed. We'll come down this aisle. Are you bored, Sam? You look a little bit bored. These are kind of funny looking. Long-fin peppercorys or albino peppercorys. I think I might do a dedicated video soon if you guys want of just this store. We'll go through all the tanks and I'll show you all the stock, but at the moment I'm just going to show you like the highlight stuff that I can see in here. These are weird fish. These are albino hoplo cats. Have a look at these. These are like the hoplos I have at home, but white. And hey, don't bite them. Yeah, these are neat. We don't get these in very often either. What else we got over here? Oh my God, look at these hoplo cats. All over that pellet. Looks like a little scleromistax in there too. We have a really good selection of angels at the moment. So if you guys want angels, come in and check them out. Ooh, these look nice. Look at these gold laser cories. It's such a shame how shy they are. They ran straight under that filter, but these are a really cool cory. Where do you get a fish, especially a catfish with a gold stripe like that? Absolutely insane. One of my favorites. Ooh, these are cool. I took some of these home. I'm surprised these haven't sold quicker. I mean, you can see the price is kind of expensive, but damn, these are well worth their money. If you want to breed something for profit, I reckon run and get some of these and start them up. These are the CW51 Coriolis. These are I think I call them new pandas. Me and Adrian both have them at the moment. I'm growing mine out to hopefully breed, but we still have at least enough for 2 people to get a breeding colony here at the moment. They're a really neat cory and you don't see them often and they're locally bred. So even better. Oh my God. Classic down here. Look at these albino cories. Loving these pellets. These are just sticky tabs that I've been experimenting with as well. They seem to be a bit of a hit. Now we'll go back into the original shop. Oh my God, look at these green cobra guppies. I'm starting to get the guppy bug again. I think I'm in trouble. I really want to get back into my guppies. They're so fun, so easy to breed, and I love the colors you can get. Look at some of these males. And also, I think it's worth mentioning, I hope the promotion's still on. At the moment, we do have a promotion that every time you visit, you can get a free pack of frozen food. It's limited to 1 a week and 1 per group because I am not made of money. But as an incentive to come into our shop, we are going to give you a sleeve of frozen food. All you have to do is at checkout, show a screenshot of the promo on Instagram and show that you're following us, and you will get it. Also, I want to take a moment to say, if you leave us a Google review, anytime you check out, you'll get 5% off. So it doesn't have to be 5 stars, but I think we give 5-star service. So please leave us a good Google review. It helps us out tremendously. And yeah, just a little way to say thanks. Oh my God, look at these black Moscow guppies from the top. They are so cool. The CPDs, I need to breed these again, but because I'm going away, I can't grab anymore. Someone locally needs to keep pumping these out for us. We sell so many, it's not even funny, and they are ridiculously easy to breed. And you can make a lot of money breeding them. So we do buy from local breeders as well. I think that's worth mentioning. So if you are a local breeder, we will buy your fish. We've got a local breeder form on our website you can fill out. And yeah, here's the pineapple swordtails from Harlan. They've nearly finished their pellet. They're quite nice. Some pearl danios here as well. Yeah, the shop's looking really good at the moment. I actually couldn't say anything that I want the staff to do. I just want them to keep doing what they're doing. They're doing such a good job. I'm so proud of them. It's amazing what people can do when they work together. Like, it's really blown my mind. Once you get a big team of people working on something and following a mission, you can really get a lot done quickly. Definitely come and check it out. I'd love to have you guys visit my store. Here's the koi angels as well from home. You've seen these earlier. These are the older siblings. Plenty of these available. I bred a lot of them, so yeah. Oh my God, wow. Look at these glass cats. Oh, maybe I should do a tank of these at home. Wow. Okay, yeah. We could spend all day here, but we would never get to the end of the story and showing you guys the new place. So why are we moving? Well, like I said before, the main reason is that this is a huge setup. And for us to continue to grow and develop, I wanted to lay it out a bit better. I don't like that, like a lot of people, this doorway, a lot of people come into our store and don't even realize they can go back there. You can go back there. So our layout's bad. We wanted to redo the store and we just thought that moving to a new location would be good. This location's a bit tucked away. It's a bit hard for people to find. Yeah, our new building's only 5 minutes down the road. So the other thing too that's weird about this place before we leave is, I don't know, sometimes I can be a bit of a dickhead. When I initially moved in here, you can see this is a huge tall warehouse. Like if you look above this suspended ceiling, I was like, yeah, this is gonna be awesome. It's gonna be so nice and open and lovely to be in. But then winter came around and it was getting cold and I was losing fish and I had no clue how to keep the heat in. I had these 2 air cons in the back, which I'll go and show you. And I thought that they were gonna keep the place warm, but warm air rises and we had to come to a solution. So we decided to build a suspended ceiling, and to do it the cheapest way possible, we did styrofoam sheets. And these things have done the job, but they are horrible. They fly off all the time, they warp. Sometimes we'll have the door open and for some reason the wind has to blow this way in the afternoon and the sheets fly up all over the ceiling. And look, we've got a net here keeping it, keeping the ceiling up. So it's gonna be good to have a facility with an actual ceiling, but this foam ceiling's done the job. It cost us, I think, $4,000 to set up and got me off the hook and let me run a store. I don't know if it was legal, but you know, sometimes do things and ask for forgiveness. Yeah, this ceiling and I have been through quite a bit together. So it's kind of weird to be in here again by myself. Like I don't get the opportunity very often. I can remember countless nights and countless hours in this room, breeding fish, picking eggs, standing here looking at the door and waiting for customers to come in. And I remember just being so scared when I first got the lease here of how the hell I was gonna pay the bills. And what was going to happen and if it was even going to work and what if the fish die, and there was so many what ifs. And something I really learned from this whole entire experience of setting this up and, you know, going through all of the things, and especially having to go through it in a public eye because we're on YouTube, like having to make mistakes in front of people. I think this is worth noting if you're anyone out there, but there's always a reason to be afraid. There's always a reason to be scared. There's always a reason why something might not work. And sometimes you really just got to bet on yourself, and you got to just cross your fingers and do your due diligence and try your best to understand everything that you're getting yourself into. But there's only a certain point that you can go with that, and you can't predict the future. You can't figure out what's going to go on. And most of the time, I feel like ideas come out unformed. You'll have an idea and that's just the original idea. That idea is not finished. It's going to take you in a completely different direction. And you can see here, I finally feel like I'm on the right path with this business. We originally thought we were going to be a big fish breeder. Just the sheer quantity of these acaras, like look at this. It's just unreal. I've got way too many acaras. We got more up here. It's crazy. And it turns out we are actually going to be a big fish store. So that's even better. That was something I always wanted to do as a kid. Would I recommend breeding fish as a business to anyone? No, it's a lot of work. It's countless hours. There's no holidays. Fish don't take holidays, so a fish breeder can't take holidays. A store is just as hard to run, but look, at least I don't have to take care of Fry. So, and I really enjoy being involved with the community, coming in and seeing all the customers, and I love being able to sell my fish somewhere where they're actually going to take care of them. I love being able to get really good products and really good customer service, and that's my favorite things about the store is the community element. So yeah, there's always a reason to be afraid. There's always a reason why something won't work. Sometimes you got to just do with what you got. If you got passion and you're going to work hard, you can definitely succeed. Yeah, this has been a massive piece of my life, and I tell you what, it's going to be weird. It's going to be really weird moving out of here and seeing this empty again, but I do know it's for the best, and it's going to be sad. I am excited for this new phase of our lives. I'm excited to continue to expand our little Keeping Fish Simple empire. Anyways, enough of me being sentimental and enough of the violins in the background. Let's head off to our new facility. You ready to go, Sam? Oh yeah, let's go. Yeah, let's go. Let's see how much we can stir him up. Let's go. Ah, whatever, all right, let's go, come on. Back here and turn off the light. Not to mention we also need more space to store stuff. Look at this. This is all we got. And also there's rats here, which sucks. Okay. In your hop. Good boy. Okay, so we're just gonna drive to the new place, and the new place is only 5 minutes from here, so all of our existing customers, you don't have to go anywhere too far. It's actually probably in a bit of a better spot. Let's get going. Righty everyone, let's go. Right, off he goes. Welcome to the new warehouse, guys. This is going to be the brand new KFS headquarters. Yeah, we've already kind of started on the renovations, and there's going to be a whole entire video series of smashing this place down and building the best store in Brisbane. But yeah, this is going to be where we fulfill all of our online orders from, and where we have our brand new store and also our offices. So this is pretty much double the size of the old shop. This is going to be the downstairs warehouse. You can see we've done a lot of work. This is going to be where we store all of our goods. So like our filters, our food, everything like that is going to be stored in here. We're going to have our office space here. We've got a little sink down here, and randomly we have a shower. The place came with a shower, so that's cool. There's still a lot of work to do here, but yeah, we just needed a lot more space to actually be able to store just equipment and dry goods, and to be able to pack our online orders. So we're going to be able to pack them here, have the roller door open up, and the post guy can come and pick them up, and yeah, we'll get them out quicker. The only con with this place, well, one of the cons, is that Brisbane is a flooding city. We're in a subtropic climate and environment. We do experience floods. Now, floods are pretty much only meant to happen every 40 years. But unfortunately, let's just say the government isn't very good at using our dams to make sure the place doesn't flood. And sometimes we get a lot of rain, especially during the summer. And around that Valentine's Day mark in the year, there is a little bit of a risk of flooding happening in Brisbane. Now, we last had a flood in 2022. And during the 2022 floods, the water came up to about this high. So disgusting, muddy, gross water came in. And yeah, obviously that's not very good. But a lot of people are saying, you know, why don't you build your fish shop downstairs and why are you building it upstairs? Well, firstly, this is beautiful space for storing our goods. And that way we don't have to take pallets upstairs. Secondly, if a fish store floods, it's an absolute nightmare. There used to be a fish store literally 500 meters down the road from here. The poor guy got flooded twice and just decided to move. Yeah, it's something you don't really want to deal with. So because we're only going to have shelving down here, like pallet racks, literally if we find out there's going to be a flood, we'll try and take as many items upstairs off the bottoms of the racks, and then we'll just let the water come through and pretty much just hose the place out after, and it shouldn't be too much of a big deal, you know. Versus if we had the shop down here, it would just get trashed, and not to mention we'd be releasing a bunch of invasive species into our waterways. Yeah, no good. The other thing that's good about having our shop upstairs is that we can plumb down. It makes it really easy for drainage for our automatic water change system. So yeah, it's kind of perfect. But yeah, we've done a lot of work in here. There's a lot's changed, but this is going to be downstairs. This won't be accessible to the public. Everyone who comes to the store will have to go up the infamous KFS stairway to heaven. So we'll come on up. You can see we've already started to paint. We've got a lot done. So this is going to be our brand new storefront. So it's a massive space. It's got a beautiful view. And the other thing that's really great about this spot is it's got lots of visibility from the main road here. So there's two main roads and there's just constantly cars going by, which is great for signage for a retail spot. Well, we're technically not retail. This is going to be a showroom. Yeah, so the plan is we're going to have all of our plant section here. We're going to have our aquascaping here. We're going to be putting ponds here in the windows. So nice on the ground ponds. And we're going to have hopefully lilies and whatever in here, goldfish. We're going to have a packing station here, and then we're going to have a huge wall of aquariums along here. We're actually going to be copying Corey's idea for his stands at the Aquarium Co-op store. I love those stands. I went and visited him last year and I was blown away. They're really cool engineering, and we're going to be trying to build our own version of that. So that's going to be here. We're going to have gondola shelves here. We're going to have a checkout here. Nice big display tank. Big tanks here. Yeah, we've got lots of plans. Back here is going to be our quarantine room. So this is where we're going to quarantine all of the fish that come in. In this room, we're going to have a sink here. And then coming in even further, back here is our staff break room. So our staff are actually going to have a break room now. Look at this kitchen that Jason's built. This was our filing cabinet that we got with the place. We ripped it out and Jason had the idea to turn it into a new kitchenette. Our kitchenette before that sucked. And he pretty much did this all himself, but what a good mate. Oh my God, look at this. He cut this massive sink in here. He got this sink for $10 from the recycle center. He got the tiles, I think, for free. He grouted them, stuck them on himself, did all the silicone. You couldn't even tell that he doesn't have a trade. Like, what the heck? It's insanely good. So this is gonna be the kitchenette, and then we're gonna have a bathroom here. We're gonna be doing a little bit of renos on this gross bathroom. So this will be like the public bathroom, and then we're gonna have our private bathroom back here. It's pretty crazy to think that from where we started, that single car garage, well, even before that, Mum's breakfast room, we've gotten all the way to having our own landmark kind of store here in Brisbane. I'm pinching myself, and I do have to say thank you so much to everyone for watching the videos and for trusting me and buying food and buying fish and forgiving me when your order comes dead or when it comes and it's smashed up or moldy or something like that. Building a business is definitely not for the faint-hearted. It's a hard slog. There's lots of risks. There's lots of 12-hour days and sleepless nights, but I can safely say that this is my passion. I love business. I love aquariums. I cannot believe that this is even happening. So I cannot wait to open this store and bring you guys in. And I can't wait to be able to sell everything online too. But honestly, I just can't wait to be able to have a store that I can come walk into and, you know, something that I've always wanted to go and experience. I've never really had, there's not really anything in Brisbane that's going to be like this. So this will be one of a kind, and we can't wait to get it done. Again, guys, I'm not trying to get soft on everyone here, but thank you so much. Seriously, it's so cool to be able to finally make a video showing really the evolution of KFS, and I honestly do feel like this is just the start. I feel like I've learned so many lessons from the years of doing this, and I feel like it was like a bit of an apprenticeship, but I'm so excited to continue on with this. And my promise to you guys is that I'll always do my best and try and make the best content. And, you know, some people will never get to do this in their life. Well, most people won't. I'm just super blessed and thankful that you guys have allowed me to do this. If I got to see what I've done as a 13-year-old kid, if you told me that this is what I'd be doing today, I would have literally thought that you were telling me that was someone else. Like I couldn't have been happier. So, and I can't be happier now. I'm so thankful for everything. I really want to drive the point home that you can do anything if you've got ambition and you've got drive and you've got passion and you've got fire in the belly. You can really make anything happen. You've just got to have a lot of resilience. You've got to have a really open mind. You have to be empathetic. You have to care for people. You have to want to do the best. There's no shortcuts in anything. There's no easy way to get anywhere. And like I said, there's always a reason to be afraid. If you're not enjoying your life at the moment and you have passion to do something and you feel like your gut feeling's telling you to go somewhere, I always follow my gut. And like I said, even following your gut, you can sometimes feel that fear. There's always a reason. It never goes away, but you only get one chance in this life. You only get one go. And to finish this video off, I heard last night someone say, would you take $10 million and the only condition is that you don't get to wake up tomorrow? And everyone will say no. But that's truly the price of every single day. It's 10 million bucks more, you know, an infinite amount of money just to wake up every day. That's how much every single day is worth. So don't take it for granted. If you're going through a hard time, I promise it gets better. And thank you so much. And yeah, let's build the best store. Hey, Sammy. All right, see ya.